Hi, Mary Boccaccio. I'm going to make a video today of lentil soup. Now, I know it's starting to get warm. You think, why lentil soup? Why? Because Maria's been asking me for months to make it, and I've been promising my sister for 2 days. My sister Josie, that she's getting lentil soup, okay? So, rule of thumb when you're making a mirepoix or sofrito, it's always double the onion than the carrot and the celery. So, I have about a cup of onion. It's going to be about a cup of onion, half a cup of carrots, a little more than a half a cup of carrots because I like sweet, and a half a cup of celery. Usually I dice them real small, but I want to give a cup of this to my niece, and she won't eat it if she sees the vegetables. So I'm going to put it in the food processor, and you always want to cut them up a little bit to put in there. It's only a little at a time. And nope, I think I pressed the motor out. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I have a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil in here. And I'm going to get that a little bit warm. And I'm going to start dumping this in. I'm going to finish all this without making the noise, and I'll be back. Okay, so I just put them in. You can see they're nice and chopped up. They look good. My mother always cut them real small, so they were so tiny. And she would sit there with a knife like this. You go over there, my mom be cutting the carrot, you know. I don't know. So anyway, I want to sweat these. I'm going to do this for about maybe 3 minutes. And like I told you before, sweating means releasing the flavors. So you don't do it on high, you do it at a nice medium, you know, on like the medium chef. Everything I cook is on medium with my stove. I don't know why about. So, also to this, I'm going to try not bang this because I have a bad habit. I want to add to those carrots about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Now, with lentil soup, you can put tomatoes if you want. Like you can put a can of whole tomatoes or a can of crushed tomatoes or even diced tomatoes. But I don't want that. I just want a little bit of flavor and a little bit of color. So we got that in there. And I like to put the paste in because it starts to bring out all the sweetness. So now what we're going to do, I want to put one more little drop of oil. Just maybe a teaspoon. Just move that around a little bit. And lentil soup is fast. Within the hour, this will be done. So this is 2 cups of lentils. They're washed. And again, my mother would go through them like this. Every one. They'd be all laid out on a table when I go over there. I haven't found a stone yet. One day that'll come back to haunt me, but I haven't. So you're going to mix this in. And I want to add some salt and pepper. Just to the base like this. And I use enough salt. It's soup. It needs salt. Okay, so now each cup of lentils usually calls for 3 to 4 cups of liquid. Now, I usually will use chicken stock if I'm not making a vegetarian, or a vegetarian stock, or good old water like my mama used to use. So I have 8 cups of water here. I want to make sure it's not too much, but I know it's not because I do want it to be a little more liquidy. My mother's was always a little thick. So I think I poured about 6 cups in there so far. I'm going to see how that goes before I add more. But I didn't want to make the vegetable stock today because I really didn't have the time. So I came up with this idea that I'm just going to put whole vegetables in there. So it's kind of like making a vegetable stock while you're making the soup. It made sense to me. I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm going to keep that in there. Look how pretty that is. Now, maybe I have more tomato than you want, but that's going to boil down. You're going to see. So we're going to bring this to a boil. And the only seasoning I use is salt, pepper, and parsley. Some people put a little cumin in lentil soup. You can put whatever you want. I just do it like my mother did it. And then we'll pull these pieces out, of course. I'm actually going to add the rest of that water because I know it's going to work. I know that that is all going to boil down. You'll see. Trust me. Okay, so when this comes to a boil, I'm going to add the parsley and I'm going to let it simmer probably for about a half hour and then we'll come back and test it. So this is my herb garden. It just started. All I want this year is herbs, but I do have shishitos snuck in there, some shishito peppers. But I'm going to get some fresh parsley. Then we'll take it in, we'll wash it. I like to get a lot of the stuff because I love drying them. See, this is enough. But I forgot that I just got French thyme. So I actually want to add a little bit of this to this. God, it smells so good. So that's plenty, because thyme and tarragon, they're very strong herbs. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be careful with them, unless you're a freak and you like them. So you do whatever you want. I just washed this, and you don't have to dry it because you're going to put it in a wet soup. You're just going to chop it up a little bit, just rough chop. And this is plenty. You don't need more than that. Throw that in. It's starting to boil. And the thyme, you just want to pull it right off. It comes right off like this, see? You get it like this. You get a piece, and you go like this. And it comes right off. I think I'm just going to use the 2 and a little pinch. And that's it. We're going to stir this. So it's boiling. I'm going to lower it to, like I said, my father always taught me with the soup. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. So I actually think that this is like a little, there you go, guys. Okay, so we're going to lower this. Doesn't that look good already? Tell the truth. Nice loaf of bread, butter. I just got some really good Italian bread today. Believe it or not, I got it at a shop right in Jersey. Been about 20-25 minutes. The lentils aren't soft yet, you know, but I wanted to show you how all that water's starting to evaporate. But if, like my mother's was thick. My mother's was thick. And you can take some of this and get like a burr mixer and blend it so it becomes like a more smooth sauce after we take this stuff out, of course. So, well, I want more water in there. So I'm going to add, that's 1 cup. I'm going to add 2 cups because I know it's going to boil that down. I'm going to cook this probably for another half hour and then we'll see where we are from there. So it's been probably at least an hour. I mean, sometimes the lentils take longer to break down than you think they do, but this is the amount of liquid that I wanted in it. My mother's, I'm telling you, was like eating like pasta. I mean, it was like thick. But sometimes what she would do, and I still do it sometimes, I'll add little tiny pastine in it, and that's really good too. So that's when you need that liquid. Or you get your potatoes. It's a little time consuming, but you make them nice and small. So my sister's going to be happy, and Maria's going to be happy. And if you wanted more tomato, I'm going to turn this off. You could use it. I added 3 more cups of water, like I said, and I seasoned it with the salt and pepper that I wanted. And I just want to show you how pretty this is. And you can see it's thick, okay? So if you don't want it that thick, like I said, add a little more liquid. But you get this. If you're having company, you know, make it look good. Put a couple sprigs of parsley on the top. You don't have to. Why waste your money? It's only what's in the dish. And you know, when I went to cooking school, they taught us never put anything on the plate. Don't garnish with anything that people aren't going to eat. And people are not going to eat that sprig of parsley. So save your money, save your time. I hope you liked this video, lentil soup. If you like the video, please share it. If you make it, let me know. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Stay safe.